it says that they will be dominant until the day
Mhm.
of resurrection, right?
Yeah, then I think
So,
how we think. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off. So I think, like you see how Muslims are growing. So it shows that we are dominant. You see
but you're
what
not.
I'm
You
saying?
didn't. It didn't start until 600 AD.
Yeah. So we have to, like, for example, when the world ends, we need to see the numbers during that time. I think that will help
Okay, so you
because
agree that
the
you agree. Just let me
Mhm.
say this. You agree
Yeah,
that it says that they will be dominant until the day of resurrection, correct?
the followers of Jesus Christ. Yeah,
Right.
they will be above the
So
disbelievers. Yeah.
there's no point from that day until the day of resurrection where the true followers of Jesus are not dominant and their message is not dominant, right?
I didn't understand. So the followers of Jesus Christ, what I understand, they will be like above the disbelievers, yeah,
Until when?
until he's resurrected back.
Right. So there's no point in between that day when Allah first made the promise
Mm-hmm,
and the day of resurrection. There's no
mm-hmm,
point in this history
mm-hmm.
where the disbelievers can be above the believers, right?
Yeah,
So, if there's any point where the disbelievers become dominant within this long gap of history, that would
yeah,
mean that Allah failed to keep his promise because he said that they will
yes,
be dominant until the day of resurrection.
mm-hmm,
So, even if I were to grant that, let's say Islam will be dominant, let's say 10 years down the line. And so now
yeah,
Islam's the dominant message. And so now most people don't believe in the crucifixion or him as the son of God. That the dominant message is the Islam's view of Jesus. Well, that would just still mean that there was a period of time where the false believers who taught Jesus as God, who taught his crucifixion, they were dominant for a time
yeah,
until Islam became dominant.
yeah,
So that would mean Allah failed.
yeah. In that sense, yeah. But what I would say, it says the believers, the follower of Christ, they will be above the disbelievers. Doesn't say in number. For example, when Jesus existed, right? When Jesus was existing. For example, when he died, okay? So like just think about the day one when he died. There are more people against Jesus than supporting Jesus. So during that time, there is more disbeliever than the believer. So see, in that sense, the thing that you're saying, the argument, that fails on the first day when Christianity wasn't that big. So this the dominant thing you're saying is gonna be like they will be like superior in like their faith, not in terms of numbers, like 1 billion uh, believer and 5 billion unbeliever. They are like superior in terms of faith, not in numbers. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay. So this is why I said I made sure we paid attention to what they were doing and what they are being dominant in so that we don't have to go to this route where, oh, well, it doesn't mean that it's numbers or, it just means that they have the
Yeah,
right
even if we
faith.
talk about numbers, so the first day when Jesus died,
It's
Christianity
definitely,
wasn't the dominant.
well, so let's do this. Watch.
Okay.
What did Allah support them in and make them dominant in? What were they doing that Allah made them dominant in?
Maybe like ruling them, or maybe that's what they want to win. That's what I understand. Or you can explain to me.
61:14. Let's look at that again. It
Okay.
tells us what they were doing.
Okay. So who will stand up with Allah? This other says who will stand up for Allah. Then a group from the children of Israel.
So in
So
your
we supported the
translation,
believers against the enemies, so they prevailed.
so they were standing up for Allah, or in the Arabic it says
Mm-hmm,
helping or supporting Allah, right?
mm-hmm,
And we agreed earlier that what that means is that they're spreading the message of Allah. That's
mm-hmm.
what they're doing, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So Allah makes them dominant in spreading his message.
yeah,
What
and
does
they
that
won.
mean?
That's basically it. Yeah.
Yep, and they won. And not
Yeah.
and not only did they win, but they will continuously win. Their message will be the victorious message
Mhm.
throughout history
Until the
until
day
the
of
day of
judgment.
judgment.
Yeah.